Hey guys, welcome to July 11th Speaker Co-working, sponsored by SpeakerHub. I'm Ron Story, the owner of SpeakerHub, and I'm joined today by Angela Lewis and our cast of friends and family. This is the call that we do every day that allows speakers from around the world to come on to ask questions, not just about speaking, but about business and the speaking business. Our goal at SpeakerHub is not just to help those who want to get paid to speak, but to help those who want to speak to get paid. Our research shows that the speakers that get paid the most are those who not only speak the most, but they are making the most offers to their audience. So that's what we help you to do. We usually start off with wins. I got a win. Actually, I got two. I just forgot to mention them earlier this week. And on July the 21st, I will be speaking at a conference for entrepreneurs about using speaking as their way to grow their business. And I think I have another one in the end of October. No, August. The end of October. No, it's August. One second. Let me see. The end of August is it's July and August. Those are the two that I have set up so far. Also, will be teaching an entrepreneurship class in July and August for the Ohio State Business Development Council on just the basics of starting a business and finding your customers. So those four things happened in the last 7 days. I just forgot to mention them, but I think one may be in Arizona. I think it's in Arizona or in Denver. The other one is virtual, and the other two are in Ohio, those are virtual too, though.
Hit me up. You
Um,
out here my way, bro.
yeah, I'll let you know. They sent me some $500 a night hotel thing. I'm like, they don't understand. I'm not paying $500 a night. We'll stay somewhere else. But the event is held at some really nice hotel that is above my pay grade. Um, but it's going to be a great event, and I'm super excited. It's an event by a guy named Gary Barnes. Gary Barnes does really great events for entrepreneurs. Um,
You can stay
yeah,
at my guest room for $4.99.
no, I'm good. No, because you coming up with that lipstick on, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go on pay for my own room, and no Diddy. We ain't gonna worry about none of that. We gonna just keep it the way it is.
Oh, shoot.
I
Turned
wake up.
dark really fast.
I'm just saying. I'm looking out for my own self interest. You know.
Oh, man.
I wake up and John's like, take that, take that. I'm like, no, no.
Hey, let me help y'all. Let me shift this real quick. Is anyone going to NSA?
No, I don't think I'm going this year. I went last year,
Dude.
but it was a great experience for. I think it's really good for speakers and networking and learning a lot of different things. There were a lot of great sessions last year at Influence, but I won't be making the. I think it's a 17-hour trip for me one way,
Mm,
so I won't. It's in. Is it in Denver again, or where is it this year?
Arizona,
Okay, it's in Arizona. So, John, that's in your
Scottsdale.
backyard. You going to be speaking there? You speaking, Greg, or you said it's in
No,
Scottsdale?
no, it's in
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale. Yeah.
Okay, so it's in Scottsdale. Yeah,
Hit me up,
I will.
Greg. Let's
Okay.
connect.
Okay.
Yeah, so I won't be making it this year. Last year we were a large sponsor with NSA, um, but this year we're not going to participate. I think Edward and those guys they do a great job. Had a great meeting yesterday with Jakara Rivera, who's going to be taking over as the new president of Black NSA this year. They also have their pitch competition next week, starting on Tuesday. If you want to hop into those sessions, Lethea does an amazing job of talking about pitching and how in her first year she did 173 speaking gigs in her first 12 months as a speaker. Um, so, yeah, no, but I won't be there. I don't know if anyone else is going, but I wholeheartedly support what NSA is doing. It's just logistically a nightmare for us to go out there. Yeah, so hopefully I'll have some good news about the latest acquisition next week. We're in the final 5% of the stages of getting it done. All the paperwork is here. We're waiting on one last agreement. Those agreements should be signed today, so that's a good thing. Um, yeah, that's another win. That's a huge win because that's going to add a significant number of new users to SpeakerHub and some new technology that we currently don't have. So it's going to be a good deal. It's going to be really, really, really cool. Yvette, what's up?
Wanted to
Wait,
share. Um, I had I got a pretty awesome offer from a conference that I communicated with or pitched to. What was amazing is that I communicated about a conference that they're having in New England, and they offered me several opportunities to do a virtual webinar, the annual conference, which I added a 2-hour workshop to, and a standalone 2-hour virtual workshop. So collectively, um, that would be close to almost 15,000. Two of them are virtual and one is in person. And that's from a single pitch on SpeakerHub. So the
see,
fact
there it
that they were
is.
willing to get more than one opportunity, and that doesn't include, before, during, and after possibilities to sell my books, workshops, and other products and services. So this is pretty cool. And again, I think I might have pitched maybe a dozen conferences. So to get this kind of feedback this quickly was pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, that's super duper duper incredible. I think don't discount that you've done the work, right? The the people that have done the work of speaking in the past and have the credibility builders, they have no problem with getting responses from
Um,
conferences. When we do done for you, we're very particular about who we accept as done for you clients. And typically every 7 emails that's sent from one of our done for you clients gets a response back
oh,
from the conferences. But they've already done the work as far as being a qualified speaker. They have all of the things in place. So I want to also give you a high five for not skipping the steps. You see what I mean? Like a lot of people go from, I took a course yesterday, I want to do what Yvette did tomorrow, unless if you can't get me the same thing Yvette got, your stuff doesn't work. And I'm like, well, go back and do what Yvette's done. Like, go back and do all the speaking gigs she did, all the podcast interviews, all the free traveling and introducing herself to other people. You can't skip the steps. So high five Yvette on locking that down with us, using SpeakerHub, but also I want to also recognize that you haven't skipped the steps over the last 6 months. You've been going on the podcast, doing the work, giving the reviews. You know, you ain't gonna outwork the work. It's gonna always be there. So high five for not skipping the steps.
thank you for
Um,
that, Ron. I just have a quick question.
mhm.
There was, a question as to the honorarium, like what to charge them. And because it's nonprofit, I was able to, believe it or not, come down on pricing. But when you're working with government, it's always a question, not as to how high or low to bid, because you don't want to underbid your cost, but you only get one chance. If you overbid their budget, they won't even negotiate with you. So
Mhm.
I think we've had this conversation, but I'm just curious to know if you had any feedback on pricing and charging for services. And none of this, includes travel. So there's still 100% wholly responsible for my travel. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer. I agree with what you said. If you come in way out of line, then over budget, then you don't get what you're worth because they don't hire you. But if you come in too far under budget, you've cut yourself short. So there's a trick question that you could ask, and most 80% of them aren't used to being asked this, so they just tell you. And what you say is, hey, I know that my budget is probably more flexible than yours. But just so that I can make sure that we can make this a win-win, what have you paid similar speakers in the past?
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Right? Because then that gives you a benchmark, right? And they'll say, oh, well, we paid this person, we paid them 2,000, this other person, we paid 7,000 or whatever. Cool. Now you got a range to work with.
Okay.
So, the one thing that I know is that a lot of times we as everybody negotiating, we leave money on the table, but we end up only hurting ourselves. There's nothing worse than giving someone something for free or giving someone a discount and then finding out that they paid one of your competitors full price. I'm serious. It's the
I do-
worst feeling ever.
I do
Right?
have confidence, Ron, that even if I underbid, because of what you've taught us here on SpeakerHub, the before,
Mhm.
during, and after possibilities, that I'm going to recoup that. I'm going to recoup what I think it's worth by, selling the books, the services, and offering the courses, because the fact that they would offer me not one, but three separate opportunities, two being remote, feels like that door is open. So I think without knowing that I had other resources, products and services that I could just kind of spin up so quickly, I would walk away wondering if, I did the right thing.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what happens is that um, most negotiation for speaker fees comes down to comfort. There's the old saying, what number can you say without cracking a smile? Right? Like if you if you got to say before, we don't believe you. Right? The just lets me know you never asked for that number before. Right? But it's the number you can say with confidence. And your job is to practice saying a bigger number. Right? But let them know. You can always preface it with, hey, I'm flexible and I want to make sure that it's a win-win for both sides.
Okay.
Right? And can you imagine someone replying back, no, we don't want it to be win-win? That's the stupidest thing ever, right? So it's more of the preempting or like inception, giving them a way out to be flexible without, feeling like they're revealing too much of their hand. Does
Got
that make
it.
sense? John, what were you going to say?
I just had a question, and I remember you said it before, but what was that verbiage around getting that agreement that you will be selling something from the stage?
So there's a couple ways to do that. It just depends on where you are, right? If you're speaking at a place that, a lot of times they'll let you know if they allow you to sell your products and services. If you're speaking at a place that doesn't allow the selling of products and services, what you do, you just agree to, hey, look, there won't be any pitching from the stage, nothing like that, right? And usually they'll say, cool, we just want to make sure that that's not the thing. And then you ask, do you mind if I set up a meet and greet in the back of the room? Right? Or do you mind if they say no, we don't want that? Cool. Do you all have a system in place to get audience feedback on the talk so we know whether we fit, whether we fit, whether my talk was impactful? At that point, that's when you suggest that you are able to use your QR code to get feedback. Now, the great thing about it is that you use the QR code and you show them, here are the questions. It's just these 5 stars, and I get the feedback from the person, right? So they'll see it's not you giving them a link to your book or some $1,000 course. They get to see it's only 2 questions: first name, last name, email address, 5 stars, and comment, right? So then now that kind of breaks down that barrier, but then you go into sales mode afterwards. Does
Now,
that make sense?
what if this conversation is not had prior to the event? Should you just assume that you can do your thing on the stage then? Or is
So
it,
most companies are going to give you their rules up front, right? They're going to give you the guidelines, but it never hurts to um to bring it up
clarify?
what your intentions are. Hey, can I have a is there a way I could have a meet and greet booth in the back of the room or outside in the exhibit area? Right? Most of the people are going to say, yeah, we don't mind people. Now, if you're the first speaker in the thing and they got a whole day worth of stuff, they don't want you in the back selling stuff while the other
Exactly.
speakers are up there. Do you see what I
Right.
mean? But it's one of those negotiations, depending on the setup of the room, the event that you're at, things of that sort. Some speakers they'll give their speech and you don't see them. They disappear. They go back up to their suite. They don't even stay for the event. They're not around because if they're a superstar, they will be a distraction in the audience. Right. So there are all these things that are moving and grooving all the time at different events. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's something that if you can remember this, the event planner doesn't want to be embarrassed. And if there's any way that the event planner or the person that's inviting you can be embarrassed by your actions, verify it. If there's any way that the CEO of the company could come down to that event planner and say, why are they doing this? You know, this is a poor thing. We shouldn't have them in the back doing this. It's interrupting this. Or why do we let them? If there's any way that that could possibly happen, I'm talking about even if it's a 1% chance, verify and get permission. And don't be afraid to show them your process. Here's what I want to do. Because they'll ask, hey, what you want a table? What are you going to be? Are you going to be selling something? Oh, I'll have my books to give away or whatever, right? Those types of things, but be as upfront as possible. Once you break that trust, you'll never come back.
Right.
And these folks know each other. They all go to the same meetings. They talk to each other, But does that make sense, John? Go ahead, Greg. What were you going to say?
Yeah, a couple of things. All of these questions should be taken care of in your pre-event questionnaire with the meeting planner. Everything from, cost to setup to back of the room. If some do it differently. I have sold books prior to an event. I'll stick around and sign the books after the event, set up a table somewhere else so I won't be a distraction. That's one way. The other piece, when I think it was Yvette talking about, the fee for the gig. One soft shoe method that I've developed is, hey, the average speaker, makes $10,000 per 60-second keynote. And we've already clarified that I'm better than average. So it kind of, it broaches the conversation, but it doesn't put anybody on the defense. And you'll know right away if they're squirming at that, because you always we're flexible in the back, in your back pocket. So those two things, those two have worked for me.
Oh, 100%. And if they're getting $10,000 for a 60-second speech,
I mean, 60-minute, man. Come on, bro. It's Friday, man. Come on.
Hey, you said you wanted to fight, man. I'm like, come on.
Hey, bring it.
That's that alpha brain.
hey, man, I gotta look out for my brother.
Hey, at least we got a brain. At least we got a brain, AJ.
There it is.
If we go there, if we just go there. Much
he
love,
ain't
bro.
heavy. He my brother.
Much
I'm looking
love,
out for
much
my
love.
brother.
Yes, sir. But those two tend to have worked for me. And I try to cross every T and dot every I in that pre-event questionnaire. And if we think of something else prior to the event, we go back, hey, got a couple of questions. These are a couple of things that we didn't talk about, that we didn't discuss, need clarity on before the event.
100%.
Thanks.
100%, yeah, I mean, the more transparent and upfront you can be, you just save your reputation, right? Nobody wants to be in a gotcha moment. As Dan Pena would say, you never want to have a moment that that you have to explain later on. Oh, hola, baby. Oh, ¿qué tú tienes en tu cabello? Oh, tú tienes condicionada, huh?
Sí.
Okay. Estoy en una cita. You want to say hi? You have to talk in English. You can't talk in Spanish.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Baby.
You want to go back to mommy? Okay, bye-bye. She said, wait a minute. He said I can't talk in Spanish. Okay.
She
We
will
gotta
be
get her
putting
out of this Spanish all the
putting
time thing.
makeup on you soon, bro. I
Nah,
could just
man.
tell. The way
I
you just
promise you.
picked her up, you gonna have a wig on and eyeliner and all that. Watch.
Nope. Nope. I promise you. It won't be on tape.
And she'll polish his nails for him. He'll have nail
Nope.
polish on too.
Nope. It's okay. It's okay to set some boundaries. I don't think
Little
there's anything
pink
wrong
purse
with
that says SpeakerHub.
that. No, that's funny. Any other wins? Any other questions about this is Ask Me Anything Friday, so this is more of a wide open thing. Any other questions about what we've talked about this week? So Valencia, I don't know if you were raising your hand, but
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
was. I was trying to find the raise your hand thing, but I had a win. So last night I did a YouTube interview, or I was interviewed on Blacksit Global, and it went very, very well. And I thank SpeakerHub for that, because that's how I got that gig. And then she announced that I will officially be on her podcast. She starts running her podcast in November. So she announced all of that, and it just went very well. And I'm happy.
Cool. No, that's a big deal. High five. High freaking five. I was gonna share something else, but we'll go to Diana. Diana, good to see you. What up? Diana at the top of the leaderboard. She said she's gonna come and show y'all. I think she got like 170 pictures so far sent this week. So
Well, thank you for that. And I guess this will be a follow-up to that. So we've done the pitches this week, and we've already landed 2 national podcasts in 1 week of being on the platform. We got Jillian Michaels.
that's a big deal.
My team is like, Jillian Michaels just reached out. I said, who? Exercise lady? So we have that, and then we have this other one, Dr. Lyons. So in 1 week, 2 national podcasts, and I'm like, thanks, Ron. Like, thanks, SpeakerHub and team, because this is the real stuff and it works, and I'm super grateful.
No, high five, man. Super duper
Awesome.
excited. No, I mean, here's the thing, guys. The one thing that when we listen to the folks that have reports, they've done the work. Like you just can't skip it. Whether you're just starting off with podcasts or you're getting associations, you did whatever work it's required to get that level of result. Does that make sense? It's no different than fitness or anything else. Certain people compete in Division II athletics, Division I athletics, pro, all-star games, Hall of Fame. But each person did the work to get what they deserve, right? Now, I'm a firm believer that nothing is impossible given enough time. If you're given enough time to practice and to put in the repetitions, whatever you're dreaming about, you can probably get there. You may not be able to get there in the time that you believe, because 90% of the time we've underestimated the work that's necessary. But just showing up every single day, over and over and over. People ask, man, how do you learn Spanish? Like the same way my daughter did. Man, I need a book. I'm like, she didn't learn from a book. She can't read. But you know what she did? She talked to us every single day. How's her English getting better? Because she talks to me more now. I don't talk to her in Spanish very much anymore. I force her to talk to me in English, right? So her English is getting better. She can't read, but she's forced to do it on a daily basis. And the kids don't have shame. Your kid will say something bad and fix it and just go on about it. He ain't thinking about it no more. Oh man, they gonna look at me funny. Nobody care about you. That's the sad thing, is that don't nobody care. So I think that as we get better and understand that that's part of the process, man, we can impact so many people. Jasmine, what's up?
Just adding on to that for podcasting, since I've started with you, Ron, maybe late January, late January.
Yep.
You know, and doing my podcast, like initially it was overwhelming because I'm thinking more people are going to say no. And during this time, which is now July, there's probably only three podcasts that I didn't get on. Two wanted huge sums of money. One, you know, I kind of keep it in my back pocket because I see what it represents. One, when I went out, veer off to something, you know, spirituality, because I figure, oh, my dad is a minister, so I can go talk some gospel with them, you know. I guess the man says, I checked your profile. You don't look like you can talk on gospel with me. So I didn't get that one. So, you know, when you really listen here and hone in on what your message is and you project and you pitch that message, people are happy to. Now I'm in the stage where the podcasters are referring me to other podcasts. In August,
Uh-oh. I think our
so,
internet.
you know, you got to stay where you know your passion is, and they can see through your email, whether it's AI, whatever, because you're going to touch it up with the AI, and they're going to reach out and they're going to want to have you.
So I
And
want to
they're going to
share
feel
something.
confident to refer you to their peers.
Oh, 100%. And I want to share something else. Let's do this right now. Let's just make this our exercise for the day. Open up your notes app on your computer, and I'll share mine. And we're going to go through a quick exercise that I think is a game changer, that I don't think is used enough. So, and then competitors, right? So let's write down your competitors, right? So, and what I mean by competitors is who are similar to you, right? Competitors are similars, right? Or similars, right? So in my space, Odell Bizel, right? Brian Olds, Jeremy Anderson, Grant Baldwin, Arel Moody. What's another guy? Pete Vargas, right? And this is in the speaking space, right? But then I got another genre, and I can go and talk about buying businesses, right? And then in that space, we got Cody Sanchez, right? We got Walker Diebel, Ace Chapman. Who else? I don't know nobody else right now. In the sales space, Jeremy Miner, the founders over at Instantly. I'll just put their company name because I don't know who they are, but they do a bunch of podcasts. The founders at Limlist. Yeah, right. So let's make this list. And you can just pick one category, but what I wanted to show you was you'll have different categories that you can talk on. Right. So if you speak at high schools, you'll have universities, you have someone who specializes in universities, someone who specializes in whatever, and you write who those people are. Right. Let me know when everybody's done with that. Right. So Deanna, one of the ones you can use is Rhonda Ross. Rhonda Ross goes on podcasts and different things. You'll have a similar platform where you sing and speak at the same time. Rhonda's been on this call several times. Look up the stuff that she's been on. You all are very similar. Rhonda Ross, RHONDA ROSS. It's Diana Ross's daughter. You and her have a very similar platform where you can go and speak wherever she's spoken. And I would just follow like another thing. Now, I'm gonna tell you how you can do this. And this is totally cheating, but it is the easiest way to find podcast and speaking gigs. Right? Jasmine, what's up?
I didn't take my hand down. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's look at how we can do it the manual way to find speaking gigs, right? So I can come in here and I can type in Odell Bizel and just type in conference behind his name. And then guess what it's going to find? It's going to find the different conferences. Number one, they're going to put the conferences they speaking at in there. And then you're going to find different things where you will find him speaking at different things, right? So you can find the photos. You can see he's spoken at the Executive Association of North Carolina at their fall conference. You see that, right? If I click over here, now here's another quick, let me fix this for you. Come over here and go to advanced search, right? And you wanted to have Odell Bizel and then conference, and you can say any of these words or all of these words or none of these words. Does that make sense? So I wanted to have all of those in there. I don't want it to just have Odell. I needed to have all three of them. And then I can say, well, within the last year, right? And in the United States, because I know he's not speaking outside of the United States. Right? And then I'm just going to hit search. And let me turn off my ads on this daggone thing. Thought it was blocking ads, but it's not, right? So he spoke at the National Student Employment Conference, right? He spoke at the AFLW, whatever, AFLV. You see what I mean? These are my competitors. If they got them, they'll bring me in next year. Is this making sense? CCC annual convention. Now, you can also, guess what people do? People post this stuff in images. And you can see different images where he's spoken at. Now, Oregon Institute of Technology. Is this making sense? You just got to be willing to do a little bit of the work because we don't know your competitors. This is him speaking at a Dr. King thing. Why did Dr. King and Malcolm X, and what would you do? Whatever. There's something on the news that he did, right? So you can just go and Google people like this. The other thing you can do is go into LinkedIn and you can type in Odell Bizel. Now, what most people do is they use only the people thing. Use posts. So you can see all the things that were either posted by him or there's For College Life. Him speaking at that university. There's someone else talking about him, right? Him and Dr. McNeil, where were they at? I don't know where him and Kevin Neal were, but I guarantee you we can find out. You can just click on what event was this at? And they'll tell you. And then just go talk at that, reach out to that event. Does this make sense? So where's this? They may be at something together, but all I'm saying is you can go and find National Trio Day, right? Different things. He's at North Carolina Central. Do you see? Just look up your competitors. They've already blazed the trail. This is NSA in North Carolina. Virginia Community Colleges. I'm not putting Odell on blast. This is my guy, right? But I just want to show you somebody who's putting in the work and how you can go and find the work that your competitors may be putting in. Is this helpful? Any questions about that part? Because there's a couple other steps we can do. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Diana, go ahead.
Do you have any quick tips on how to find your competitors?
Yes. Type in your topic. Right? I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you, it's easier to do it with podcasts, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Right? So, any questions about the speaking gig thing, how you can just Google their name and it'll bring up the events, because every event has to promote the speakers, right? So now you know the events that they're speaking at, right? Now, let me show you how to do it with podcasts. This is so easy. So when you come into SpeakerHub Pro, and I can just come in and go to podcast, and we have two tabs. We have one tab that's called podcast. That's going to be the actual shows. The next one is called episodes. This is the actual episodes. Does that make sense? So if someone searched for Ron Story Jr. in podcast, it's going to not bring up anything because I'm not over there. I don't have a podcast. Does that make sense? But if we click on episodes, it's going to bring up episodes about me. Now, anybody who talks about the things that I talk about, they should go on these podcasts. Does that make sense? So if I go in here and I type in Odell Bizel, by the way, Odell had a great session at the Pro Speaker Summit. Check it out. I mean, he dropped a bunch of gems, right? But you can see here, he was on here with Robert Plank. All I do is add that to a list and watch what the what this is going to do, right? Oh, I turned the daggone AI thing off. 1 second. Let me turn my AI back on. I was demonstrating this to someone the other day. So I'm going to go back to this Impact Speakers Academy thing. And now that my AI is on, I'm going to have it write my email with AI. And it's going to take into context that Odell was on the show. So it brings Odell up in the conversation in the email. Right? I found the episode with Odell Bizel impressively insightful and valuable. Or are you looking for more speakers for upcoming episodes? You see how it brings it in so that you're not just talking in the dark, but it refers to them because they like, oh, well, maybe he listened to this episode. Cool. Does this make sense?
Can you? How
So-
did it?
Hmm?
How did it get Odell's name? Because I missed that part. Like,
So I searched for Odell here in the search, right? And it brought up all the episodes that he had ever been on. This is the episode where it's him. This is the episode where they're interviewing him. So our system looks at that episode and then writes the email based on the show notes for that episode with that person. Does that make sense? Because this is all we tried to do was this, guys. All the stuff I was doing manually and me and Andrew was doing manually, we just told the AI to do the same things that I was doing. I would go read the show notes. So the AI, we give the AI the show notes. And that's how we write it. Go ahead, Nicole. I mean, yeah, Nicole.
Mine wasn't on this topic.
Okay. What's the topic?
I had two questions. I put in the chat before, but then I had to switch to my laptop.
Okay.
Previously, you gave us a good example to use for a pre-event questionnaire. Do you have that readily available to share again?
Yeah, I have to look it up in my Google Drive, but I can get that to you.
No problems. And the Diana, Nicole, yes, they're recorded. Go to the YouTube channel. This is whenever I miss, that's where I binge them.
Yeah, you can
I'm
find it
in
on
the bed,
YouTube.
I'm
Just
listening.
SpeakerHub YouTube.
The other thing, I'm very grateful. Thank you for sending out the summit attendee list. What my topic was about was not necessarily what I would like to use that list to send stuff out for. I wanted to know if you had a creative way or a way to tie in what I do speak on, what I'm passionate about, to be able to send an intro or a warm up
Yeah.
email to that
So
list.
so here's what I would do. I would reach out to the people that attended your thing with the list that we gave you, and you say, hey, I wanted to thank you for attending the Pro Speaker Summit. You know, in my session or whatever. Let me know if there's anything I could ever help you out with.
Okay.
And then just see what they say back.
Okay. I
Right?
saw Frank and Pam did really good ones, but
Yeah.
theirs was in line with their topic.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think there's different approaches, right? So if you just want to leave it open, right?
Okay.
And then put them on your newsletter to talk about whatever you want to talk to them about, right? But the first email needs to give them a point of reference on where they remember you from. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So using that as the point of reference and then going into it. I'll give you a great example. I was asked to come and talk about speaking, right? But I made a comment about buying businesses and I got a bunch of emails about buying businesses.
Yeah, that happened.
But I got to refer to them. I got to remind them where they knew me from and then go back into that. You see what I mean? Because different people hit you up for different things and they hear different things, but you got permission, right, to reach out to them because they gave us the permission to give you permission, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, keep it open and then funnel down into what with your content that's appropriate for what you're wanting to help them with. And I think that's the way to go.
Okay.
And
Camille, you asked, I just saw your question about the emails. That email list was sent to people who were presenters at the summit. So that wasn't an email sent to everyone.
yeah, so it's a registration list for the summit. For those who had, like, if you registered for Nicole's session, Nicole got your email so that she could follow up with you. Why? Because you didn't register because you weren't interested. You registered because you were interested. So, that's kind of our compensation for our speakers is we want you to be able to build the business.
Right. Yvette asked, how do I see email responses in SpeakerHub? I'm still having to go to the inbox and update separately.
Okay. Yep. I will cover that for sure. Let me finish this and then I'll come back to that because that's a really cool thing that we just added last month and it is not being used. And we spent a bunch of time implementing this thing and we just haven't done a good job of explaining it. So do you see when you have your competitors, Brian Olds, they don't have to be your people that you don't like. These are my friends, but we're in the same space. Does that make sense? So I can just go with friendly fire, right? This isn't like, oh yeah, well, no, man, I'm better than him. I'm never gonna poop on anybody. I just want the people that I know that like them, so they probably will like me. Does this make sense? So this is an easy way to find your competitors or find similar gigs to what your competitors are doing. Now, here's a way to find out who your competitors are. This is what Diana asked. So I'm going to type in public speaking, right? So if I wanted to find out who my direct competitors were in public speaking, I could do this episodes thing, but the podcast is actually going to be better because the guys who are teaching public speaking, they're going to host a podcast. Does that make sense? So now, like this Elaine Williams person, captivate the mic with Elaine Williams. Perfect. Now I'm going to take her name and she does public speaking. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to type in her name and put speaker or conference behind it. Now I'm going to look for some images and I'm going to see which one she's speaking at. They're all coming up. Does that make sense? So that's how you can find your people, find out where they're speaking. She's at APFM 2024. Boom, look that one up. Here she is again, hosting something else at the Incredible Women's Luncheon at Fleming's Steakhouse, right? Women's Leadership Conference on April 3rd. You see what I mean? You just need to know the person's name. Google will do all the work, right? Now, y'all want to Y'all want a super duper duper pro tip? Like this is cheating. All right, I don't even know if I want this on YouTube, but I'll show it to y'all anyway, right? Because this is one of them things where it's like, don't be showing them that, right? So there's a great AI agent called Manus, and Manus is incredible. You can use this for free, right? Now they're gonna charge you because they're gonna have you doing a bunch of stuff, but you can do this. And I want to say, find create a list of conferences that had Odell Bizel as the speaker. And I got to put search online. So all I do is type that in. And what Manus is going to do is just go out there and right. So these are the ones they found, right, so far. But no, keep going, dude. So it gives you the steps. I'm going to search online. I'm going to browse the relevant source, compile the data, and deliver it to you. And we're going to watch it do it right here. This is totally a game changer for you to be able to find conferences that your competition is speaking at, right? And this is going to go through it. It's just going to keep finding them, right? And you can set parameters like in the last 12 months, in the last 2 years, did he speak on sports or whatever, right? And you can do this for free. Now I pay for it. I think it's $19 a month is what I pay, but you can see it. Just go into the websites, look it up, Odell, and they're going to realize that he may have some things on his page, but he may not mention all of his things. But it's just searching through, crawling the websites, finding the information for Odell and where he's going to be speaking. Right. So now it's looking through the success stories to see who's referred him and what logos he got on the website. I mean, this thing is cheating. Look at it. It's taking all the colleges off of there because they know he spoke at the conferences at these colleges. I mean, this is just not fair. Look at all of this. This is bananas.
I love Menace. I got on there when they were trying to make it by invitation only.
Mhm.
But then when they had invitation only, I ended up with 2 accounts. And then I was like, nah, screw this. I'm going to go to paid.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's a great investment. And I mean, but it's still building that list. So that list is still building in the background. It's probably going to use all $20 worth of my credits, but y'all worth it, you know. But yeah, but you see what I mean? It's bringing up everything. Do this with your competitors. This is cheating, right? So I can stop this, but I'm going to just let it keep doing it. But you can see it's still building out. When was the date? Where is he speaking? You know, I mean, it's just going to keep going. I mean, so just imagine the number of leads you can get with this. Now, I gave it bad information. My prompt should have said, give me the contact information also. And while it was out there, it would have just pulled the contact information for those people if it was on the website. Does this make sense? I've completed the list. Cool, give it to me. Right? He's done 500 gigs since 2008 and spoken in 44 states. So now I got the full list right here. Does that make sense? Got it? There it is. That's the super duper hack. All right. don't be surprised if you see something like this in SpeakerHub in the next few months. I'm just saying, it's something we've worked on. Don't be surprised. We've talked about it. It's not operational, but it's something that we discussed maybe 3 months ago. But the AI wasn't at the level that it's at right now, and it's a bit expensive, but it's something that we've definitely explored. But pretty easy, right? Like, any questions about that before I get into the question that Yvette asked? Isabella, nice to meet you. You want to introduce yourself? Welcome to SpeakerHub. No? Okay.
Hello.
Oh, how are you? You want
I'm
to tell us
getting
what you
you.
speak about?
Yes, nice to meet you, everybody. I'm Isabella from Colombia. I'm working with Erica.
You work with who?
With Erica.
Oh, Erica. Okay.
Yes.
You're from Colombia?
Yes, I am.
Okay. In qual ciudad?
Medellin.
Ron,
Medellin.
Ron, you
Oh,
know
this is Isabella. She's been in my house before.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, you know me.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see. I can't see. I remember
Here
her
we
telling
go
me the last
again,
time.
Ron.
Yeah, my bad. I remember her telling us the last time.
Again, yes.
It's Isabella. She came to the Vela's party back in
Yes.
December, or to AJ's thing. I can't remember. But
Yes, exactly.
All right, cool. All right. Any other questions about, was this helpful about the competitors? Because we spend so much time guessing, and I'm like, dude, I'm a copycat. Like, I'm gonna copy you first. And then I'm gonna innovate. I'm gonna imitate before I innovate. Right? I'm gonna find the podcast they've been on. I'm gonna go on them. I'm gonna find the speaking gigs they did, and I'm gonna go do them. I'm gonna pitch them, and then just keep following up. So let's go to the question that was brought up by Yvette. So everybody has this ability currently. So if you are using Gmail, but you want your emails your replies to come into directly in the SpeakerHub. If you're on Microsoft, it does it automatically. So if you have a Microsoft or any Microsoft-based account, it will automatically bring your replies into the mailbox. Okay. So I'm going to just reconnect mine. I don't know. I probably got an error there, right? But here, I'm going to disconnect my Gmail. And when I click connect new account, I get to pick how I want to connect it. Does this make sense? So if I click Google, it's going to give me a choice. Do I want a quick connect, which is what everybody is on by default, which is just get you in. We didn't want to go through all of that in onboarding, so we made it quick connect. But there's this new thing that we added in April called full thread sync, right? This allows you to get the emails back and forth, right? So if I click here and I type in my email that I want to send from, Ron Story Jr. at Gmail, we actually stopped a lot of the technical stuff. So we automatically go out and get the IMAP address because we know y'all didn't know what that stuff was. So we went out and got all of that information. Now all I got to do is put in my password. Does that make sense? So I put in my email password that I would log into Gmail with. I don't know what mine is, so I got to hop out of here for a second. And I'll come back and show you. 1 second.
So are you doing that, Ron? Are you saying we need to disconnect and reconnect to activate it, or?
Yes, you have to disconnect and reconnect to activate it. Now, it won't delete anything from your mailbox when you disconnect, but you have to reconnect to Google through a different route. The normal route through OAuth is different than this password route that I'm showing you right now. Does that make sense?
If you are using one that's not, if you're sending from one that is a vanity domain and you're proficient with like using IMAP and all of that to map it to where you need it to go, is that an option?
Yeah, so if you're using a vanity domain and it's not on Microsoft or Google, that option was there. That you saw that. We give you 3 options now: Microsoft, Google, or IMAP on the previous page.
Thank you. I was
Does that make sense?
multitasking. I'm the bad student in the back of the class. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. right? But you see, all I had to do was put my password that I would log into Google with in there. We already got your mapping information. We have some tech that goes out and gets that for us. So you ain't got to be looking that up. I used to hate looking that up. Miguel is a genius. He solved this for us. So now all I do is click next and it says there's a problem. Okay, my password is probably wrong. But if you put your correct password in there, it should work. I just don't be knowing my passwords. So, but it functions 100%.
Okay, and so I should be able to see those emails when I click on mailbox?
When you click on mailbox, the replies will come in and it'll automatically move things into the right categories automatically.
So the categories are waiting, sent, in conversation, on hold.
Yep. So it will go from waiting. When you send the email, it moves to sent. Does that make sense?
Right?
Once
Yes.
someone replies, it automatically will go to in conversation.
Yes.
So that kind of clears up that front end where everybody has all these extra emails. Does that make sense?
Yes. And so if I select any one of those in conversation, should I see the thread?
Yeah, it'll be nested. So when you go into update, it'll show
Uh-huh.
your replies right inside of there. Does that make sense? I just can't do it now because my thing is turned off. Let me see something. Let me see if I can do it another way, and I'll show you how that works. Maria, can you use Figma to show this? Because it's going to take me too long.
Hey guys, how are you? Yeah, give me a moment to open Figma.
But yeah, it shows the nested replies right under. It'll say reply from Valencia, and you'll see her reply. Right? So we give you all of those emails inside.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing them. Maybe because I did not
Yeah, did you
disconnect.
do the connection route that I just showed you?
I just did it.
Okay, you put in your app password?
Well, it didn't ask me for my password. Once I selected Gmail, I think maybe because it's already saved on this computer.
Okay,
It
no,
didn't
you have to
ask me.
pick the correct Gmail one though, right? You have to pick Gmail and then the one that says thread. That's why I was saying disconnect first. And then I have to see your screen because I don't know what you click. People, but let me just show you here. You can see the reply came in.
Okay.
So when it says reply, there's the reply right there. And then you can view the reply and Maria will scroll down and show you what that looks like. So that's the reply that came back. So it's all right inside. You can see your entire message history now. Does that make sense?
It does. So updating, I disconnected and then it says connect new account.
Yep.
And the two options I have is use quick connect or set up IMAP sync.
Yeah, you want the IMAP sync so we can sync the emails with you.
Got it. Okay. Does it
And
have
that's
to
when
be the original email that you set it up with, or can it be something else?
It has to be either through, okay, let me just go back to the beginning because this answers a bunch of questions at the same time. So
Okay.
when you go into settings and you click on email
Yes.
and you click connect new account, right? You have these three options. If your email is paid for through Google or it's a free Gmail, use that one. If your email is paid for through Microsoft or GoDaddy or anything that is Outlook and you pay for it through there or it's free through there, use this one. If you're using a separate email that's through your domain host and you don't log into Gmail or Outlook to do it, use the IMAP SMTP one, Nicole. Does that make sense? So these are your three options. This covers every email on earth. All of them.
So I have a question. When you originally set up your email address, you would select, abc.com. Does it matter if when I connect the email account, I'm using something different than the original one that I set this up with?
Who do you pay for that? Are you paying Gmail for that?
I have all the above, yes.
Okay, but I'm saying the one you want to use, are you paying Gmail for
Yes.
that domain host?
Yes,
So you use Gmail.
correct.
Some people use Microsoft, they pay Microsoft. Some people just use their Namecheap domain host. So they pay Namecheap.
I have all three, but the original one that I set
wait, hold on.
SpeakerHub up with is
Wait, let me
Gmail.
help you here. I want to be sure. You can't use 3 different MX boxes. They make you choose
Okay.
one. There's no way you can pay Microsoft and use Outlook, Microsoft, and the other ones for the same email box. It's
Okay.
not possible. So you got to go to let me give you a great example. I use Namecheap for our domain host. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they host my domain at Namecheap, but I pay Google for G Suite email. So I'm going to use the credentials for Google when I do this. So watch, when I put it in here and I put in Ron Story Jr. at PitchDB, which is through Google also, it automatically recognized and it found my IMAP stuff for that email. It just does it on its own. Even if I came over here and did it, it's going to send me back. Watch this. It's going to validate that email and go out and knows that that's the IMAP login for that email because we already looked it up. Does that make sense? So if it depends on where you pay. If you're paying Gmail for that account through G Suite, use this one. If you're paying Outlook for that account through Microsoft 360, use this one. If you don't want to use either one of them, you can connect both of them through here without using any of this, but it's a bit more technical.
Okay.
All right, just try it. If you can't get it to work, let me know. But it should give you all the instructions so that it works. If you want to get the replies, you have to use full sync. If you're using Microsoft, you don't have to do anything. They don't require that extra step, and neither does the IMAP.
Oh, okay.
Got it? But with Google,
Yes.
Google is a bit strict. Valencia,
Yeah, so I was wondering, once we get it in our mailbox like that, will we be able to use AI to respond to them? Like we
yeah,
did?
you can do all of your responses. We're just giving you the email. So we're just trying to cut out that step of having to go to Gmail and come back and move. Because
Yeah, I like
I'll give you the
that.
best example. One of the best examples was Sayron. Sayron sent so many pictures, but she didn't move her stuff over. So her waiting thing or her sent thing got 18,000 things in it because she didn't move them. And we're like, dude, it's going to be difficult for people to ever use their mailbox if we don't get them the ability to have this shift automatically. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
Thank
AJ,
All right, so when it comes to the IMAP password, it doesn't seem to be working. Is there a different password than our password to get into our Google account?
yeah, so the IMAP password is what you set up with your that should be your Google, like, are you using Google or IMAP? Which one?
Google.
Google
Well, I have
Thread Sync?
yes.
Okay. And you put in your actual Google password from that email
Yep.
account
Uh-huh.
and it gave you an issue?
Yeah, it's still giving me the error message.
Okay. I need to check with Miguel on that if that's the case.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'll verify this afterwards with Miguel.
Okay.
But that's how it works. I've used it in the past. I know it works. There may be a bug or something right now, but it works. We tested all of this very strictly to make sure that it functions. So, any other questions? Yvette, I'll let me know if you have any other issues. We can talk about it afterwards. But just wanted to give the general advice on how to connect. Lauren's over there making us dizzy. Is camera doing all of this stuff we gotta do?
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was on. I'm sitting down next to my brother.
Okay, cool, man.
But I just want to ask if do we have any update on when the speaker launch platform coming out?
Yes, in the future. It will be out very soon. In the future.
Okay, you know, I like having time frames, but
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
not
I mean
gonna
it's
rush.
all
I know
good,
y'all
man.
probably have
You know,
to
just keep
go
pitching,
through
get on more
some.
podcasts, get more speaking gigs, keep going. You know, your business won't be made or broken by SpeakerHub or Speaker Launch. You're still gonna have to keep going. So, whether it's a month from now or 8 years from now, it's in the future. We got some big plans and some updates that we're making that I think are going to be very, very, very important. Yeah, I mean, we just got to get through some of the legal things and some of the backdoor things that we got to fix. But when it's ready, it's going to be ready, right? Um, but we're very close. It is very close. Any other questions?
Nicole just asked to remind you about the questionnaire.
Yeah, I'll send that to you privately, Nicole, because I got to go search through my Google Drive. But I'll get that. Can you send me a text just to remind me what the total topic was? Because I got thousands of files, so I don't know specifically. Any other questions? Was this helpful? I think this is a great ask me anything type of day where
Very.
we covered how to find your competitors and just go down the same path. I think we do a lot of redundant work where they've already found the good podcast, just follow them. They've already found the good speaking gigs, just follow them. Right? Makes sense? Any other questions before we hop off? Carter's good to see you. EJ, the DJ, is always good to see you. Bonnie, Leroy, Erica. Any other questions before we call it one? All right. Well, you all have a great weekend. I'm thinking about doing a live webinar over the weekend. If anybody wants to hop in, you all get emails about it. But I got to transition over into this kind of live challenge model. Y'all want some updates? I'll give y'all some updates. Stop the recording, Edge. Because y'all saw us testing some stuff.